What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. I know it's a little late, so please excuse my tardiness, but I know that you guys are probably getting ready for your work week, and I don't plan on taking too much of your time as much as I do want to take up a little bit of your time. I'm not sure if you were aware with what's been going on in the news because sometimes we kind of remove ourselves from the news, right? Like we don't really like it because we know that it is a bunch of regurgitating the same shit over and over and over again. So what ends up happening is that people just say that they don't have any time, right? Like it's beneath them, but sometimes I find that it is important to pay attention because sometimes they're going to give us information that they didn't really mean to give us. So, what do I mean? All right, Ann Coulter is not a friend of Black America, just like Donald Trump is not a friend of Black America. I do think that Donald Trump has Black friends, melanated friends. I think he's got friends. I think people like him and he likes people. But I don't know that there's a blanket statement there. I don't think that there are any loyalties with the one big nigga in the room like how people want us to think. I think if more people who were Trump supporters, or at least if they were Black American Trump supporters, if they were more honest about why they wanted people to vote for Trump versus any of the other rhetoric that we hear, I think that they'd probably get a little bit further with people who are undecided. The real Donald Trump is in my chat. What? How cool. Will I be voting for you in November? I hope that whoever votes for you says it with their chest. I think that's great. I definitely don't want people to vote for someone who would open the borders and allow people from shithole countries to come over here and defecate on things. Did y'all see that? I I got in trouble on TikTok because of this video, and I think that it's discrimination, but I also didn't take the demographic poll that they keep sending me on TikTok. They say that they want to make the experience equitable for all, so please fill in this information about your demographics, but it just feels a little targety to me. Maybe it feels different for you, so I don't know if you've done the things to let these people know who you are, but this video got me in trouble on TikTok, and I had no clue. Let's see if I can share it with you. You got to send them all back, Mr. Trump, because they're taking these practices that they learned in their country and bringing it over here, and it's not fair to me. Look at this shit. Look, can you see it? You see this shit?
Was a disgrace. This was a disgrace.
I mean, really, boy, you could have, I don't know. I guess they don't have porta potties at the beach, maybe. And really, if y'all were to go look at the comment section of that dang video, you would see people saying that he should have just done it in the ocean. And I'm like, I guess maybe that would have been a better move. I don't know, you guys. I'm so confused. I feel like some of these things are very simple, and then some of them people make them complex with their emotions. So let's go to a video that got people all in their emotions, talking about this video right here.
Well, I write about this a little bit in my book, Mugged, about racial demagoguery, and also in Adios America about immigration. And that is the important point he should have made is that the entire purpose of affirmative action, set-asides, civil rights laws that limit constitutional rights to freedom of contract, freedom of association, all of that was to make up for the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. So unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American slaves, you've taken away the whole purpose of this. And that is exactly what's happened once we got this huge load of immigrants. Now, a Thai who arrived on Wednesday will get an advantage applying to college, applying to corporations over a heterosexual white male in particular. That's the biggest hate group, but any white American. And all of the civil rights laws have been, and affirmative action and so on, have been twisted into just anti-white hatred and open, egregious discrimination. So to make the point that Kamala isn't a foundational Black American, I'm always pointing out to Black people, hey, have you noticed Indians are getting all the good diversity jobs? What did we do to Indians? We didn't enslave them. I mean, most of these immigrants coming in, most are from 90% of legal immigrants are from the third world. And mostly we've just run around saving them from earthquakes and tornadoes and coups and starvation. They owe us. We don't owe them. But to switch from the concept of integration and civil rights for Black Americans to this BS-y diversity, it's nothing but discrimination against white people. And that point should be made not just to, as I think Trump is always thinking, oh, he's going to win the Black vote. He's not going to win the Black vote. You ought to do things because they're the right thing to do, not because this is an appeal to Black people, like releasing criminals. He thinks he's going to get the Black vote by being soft on crime. Anyway, not only to point out to Black Americans that their history is being stolen by immigrants, but to remind white Americans that this whole diversity thing is just discrimination against them. You still want to vote for the Democrats?
Exactly. So, white America, it seems like DEI is racist against you. Really, if you sit down and think about it, you're always telling us that you don't actually have control over things, right? Because it's a class war and you're just living your life trying to be a good American citizen. You pay your taxes, you want to be able to protect yourself and your family. I don't see anything wrong with that. I do think that sometimes you guys get, some benefits that other people don't get, but let's just say that we exist in America, that's not real. And if that's not real, then you would absolutely be feeling the burn of DEI, because really, even the legal immigrants are feeling the burn of DEI. And if they had to come over here and pass all of these tests and qualifications to be able to say that they're an American citizen, essentially what you guys had to go through, right? The test really was just, could you survive the environment? And you failed a couple times. And that's okay, because inside of your failure, you learn that you could be different. What do I mean by that? You could take it, right? And when you find out that you can take it from people who are happy to give, then it turns into an abusive lover situation. Abusive lover, because you guys have said many a time that Thomas Jefferson loved Sally. He loved her. They were in love, right? And I don't know if that's reality as much as that's what you guys have written down and have passed along as the truth for a very long time. If people were to use their common sense and understand the extent of the treachery that U.S. chattel slavery entailed, then love would not be the word that they would use for the relationship, even if the person seemed like they were in love. I would argue that that is a battered, abused, afraid, or strategic person. You have to know the environment in order to be able to survive. So while some people fought to the death, you're not going to take it from me, I will die. Some people didn't. And then some people were born into a submissive position anyway. So it was bred into them. Some of y'all confused people out here, I just feel like that's probably some of y'all's relatives that you don't know about because you don't give a damn about your lineage. You'd rather give what is yours away to people who are not supposed to be from here. But if you just take a look at your screen, it's not really your fault. You kind of been conditioned. You were conditioned for a very long time to this ball and chain. And then, well, this illustration, well, I think it's deep. It doesn't actually show the bad things, right? It just kind of shows, hey, okay, while you're in this position of fucked upness, I'm going to use you to get ahead. And it doesn't, what I like about it is it doesn't show the great white hope, right? Every story that they will put out there about us getting our freedom and liberation, it always comes at the hand of the great white hope. So, shout out to the real Donald Trump. That's the great white hope right now, because on the other side of the bird, you've got a brown one with a red dot who washes her greens in the bathtub. And I just don't know why people are so quick to pick up some weird behavior from somewhere else. Y'all niggas know that your mama and them was not washing anything that you ate in the bathtub. You wash your ass in the bathtub. So you're just going to have to excuse me, Kamala, because I call cap. Either you didn't do that or you thought that that was the nigga shit to say. You don't actually know what it is to get it out of the mud. So you went to an example that you thought that people would get. And I mean, I get that. I grew up with little niggas like you. And yes, niggas, we're going to have to just accept the fact that that's a household word. You can ask Donald Trump. They call each other nigga. So if they're calling each other nigga, and then Ling Ling and May Fong are calling each other nigga, and Jose and Juan, and if everybody's calling each other nigga, then it's just got to be a word that we're just going to have to use whenever we want, because while people say that you can't use that if you're not black, they're already using it, and they were using it with the hard R. Now they're using it with the A or the AH, and I don't give a shit. Whatever, cut the check. Can you pay me what you owe? Because if you think about at least my little art for tonight, where is it? There it is. I mean, Donald Trump, that's our man. If he can't do it, Kamala can. I don't know if that's how it's going to work, but I do know that it makes a little bit more sense to me for Black America to be on the red side of things, the side of things where you learn how to be cold. Because the Democrats, they're dummies, so we can call them the Dummycrats. The Dummycrats are very sharing. If you watched what Anne was talking about, she said that all of these people fleeing these places, what have we done to India where we would owe them diversity and equity and inclusion? What all of these other countries are getting these benefits that are owed specifically to the melanated people of this land. But when America gets to be a free-for-all place, well, now everybody's acting like they don't know who's who. Everybody knows exactly who's who. People who are not from here know that they're not from here. If you're from here, your grandmama and them told you who you were. If you were adopted, you're a special case, and we're going to have to take care of you at the end of all of this. Or you could do some more work to try to figure out who you are. But chances are, if your hairline is intact and you don't accumulate dust on them sandals during the summertime, you probably might have roots here. Now, if you real fast or real tall, and I'm talking like Usain Bolt fast and like them Sudanese niggas tall, then you might need to do a little bit more. The DNA tests, I don't know if they're accurate as much as they could be. Y'all got to talk to your people, because if you don't talk to them, well, you'll think that Donald Trump likes Black people. Like, do y'all, and just hear me out with this question. I don't know if anybody's in the chat. If you are, it'd be cool to see your answer. But do you like the people that give you the things that you're paying for? Or do you like that they've done a good job and that's why you're paying them for the thing, or that's why you continue to go back? Which is it? Because in Sunday school today, I had to talk to the minis about quid pro quo. And we're in a time where people are telling us that we have to do things because we like somebody or because we don't like somebody. And that's stupid to me. Maybe it's not stupid to you, but the stupidity, it's not benign. It's very harmful. I have no idea how to post a poll, but I want to know if y'all believe that we're at war. I mean, the non-melanated Americans get it. They had chance. You will not replace us, right? And they don't think that we're going to replace them. No, because we are the baby killers of America, right? That's the stereotype that y'all have allowed them to put on us. But if that's the case, then we're not a threat. No, it's these people that are coming over here with their hands out and staying. I read this article earlier in the week. I think I have it right. Right here. Yeah, here it is. Title of the article, geez, stupid ads. 818,000 jobs. Correction, may not worry economists. It's a problem for Kamala Harris. All right, the reason that I'm showing you this article is because Trump was arguing that Biden had given a lot of jobs to the illegals and the immigrants. And there's a quote that I lost. It is, where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. Trump has argued that most of the jobs created during Biden administration have been taken by illegals, an incorrect claim. But the only thing that's incorrect is that the jobs haven't been taken by only illegals. And the real conversation is this part of the sentence. Although the number of foreign-born workers has grown much more than the number of native-born workers in recent months. The number of foreign-born workers has grown more than the number of native-born workers. How are people who are not from here getting more jobs than the people that are from here if it's not due to the current administration? We have people in office right now telling you to vote for them in November and they will fix the things, but they are the direct cause of these things. Like, how do you guys not at least have these questions for them? Because I don't need to waste my time asking these questions of them. I'm not voting for them. But y'all, the ones who are going to vote for the Democrats, Kadummy and Walls, y'all don't even have questions. You're just like Steve Harvey. Not only do you not have to pay him the minimum amount that he takes to get out of bed, but he will give her the softball questions. He will give her the alley-oop, the assist, that carry her on his shoulders so she can dunk the ball, so she can look good on his platform and channel and to the American people. And if people got to shut up and dribble, then some people just need to shut up and do the jokes, do the funny thing, funny man. But that's not nice to say, right? And he's Black, Eve. You can't be going on Black people. You can't be negative towards Black people because that's counterproductive. No, what's counterproductive are these people who say, I've done the research, I understand the things, and I'm still going to vote for Kamala. How? Why? Anne asked if the niggas that she talks to, if they know how many Indians are getting these good jobs. Do y'all know? Because outside of you just not going outside, and then if you don't go outside, you are doing the Uber Eats thing and the Instacart thing, and most of them people are not us either. All the way free. Look, Luke, that dude, Luke, who says that he's everybody's uncle, I find that is very weird. The people who they try to big brother themselves into y'all's lives, the people who, oh, that's my cousin, that's my little brother, that's my big sister, and then you find out that they're fucking each other. That's what I get from Luke, who tries to tell everybody that he's their uncle. And then from there, if your biggest claim to fame is doo-doo brown, you might want to have several seats, right? Like the loudest in the room can't be a person who can't put together a sentence. And y'all can't tell me it's because he doesn't have enough characters on X to type the sentence the right way. It's not because he's trying to limit the amount of characters he's using. This illiterate bastard is trying to insert himself into reparations because everybody knows that we're owed, and everybody knows that it's coming. Even Jesse Lee Peterson knows that it's coming. He's very upset about it. He's probably going to be the first nigga on record to give his reparations back. And I cannot wait to document it. I hope it comes on my channel and documents giving back his reparations, because he just doesn't agree with it. He's never going to go pick up his check. No, Luke has been bitching on Twitter for months, it seems, about foundational Black America. Nobody likes that. Even the people who can claim it as a title for themselves, some of them don't like it. And that's why I know that the popularity thing, that shit's real. The cult thing, that shit's real. Y'all niggas are people who would have gone to church and would have given up everything to your pastor if they said all of the right things and you never found out anything bad about them. And it was just, the icing on the cake type of place. People who ask you to do work. A lot of y'all are afraid of those people. So, listening to big voices and big personalities and people who used to be famous, and you want to get your 15 minutes now because it seems like it's time to have a go back in time. Remember back when we used to be on top? Luke was born here. And this is my problem. Y'all are bringing, Y'all are bringing problems into the mix, and they didn't even ask to be here. From the damn Ligers to the people like Luke, it's not his fault that he was born over here. What's his fault is that he keeps trying to insert himself in our business. Every single post that dude has posted, I think, in the last, not every, because he has a hard on for Tariq right now, but inside and outside of that, it's a picture of some woman's body. And it's like, if you think she's hot, you can't bang her because she's not FBA. What? Or it'll say, if you can't vote for her if she's not FBA, but it's a picture of a bitch's body. And it's not a bad picture. It's a a person that y'all probably like to look at or whatever, but why is that the defining points of person who's supposed to run the country? Some of y'all niggas is pussy whipped in the worst way. And maybe it's because you're not getting the training from the men of your lineage because your people fled. And now you over here trying to cosplay because it seems safer. It's not. Consider you the person who's dressed up like the popo in front of the popo. That's not a spot you want to be in. I seen on X people saying that, this African American beef that y'all see on the internet is just on the internet. We fuck with each other in real life, for real, for real. People saying stuff like that are stupid because while you might have a person that you rock with, it's all gonna have to be quid pro quo. That's the whole reason y'all are rocking with each other. It's not this give it to me because you like me thing anymore. And look, I feel you that we can't blame Skamala and O'Biden because it's all Donald Trump's fault, right? He's the big bad boogeyman that's orange and he's going to take away all of our rights and Social Security and can't kill babies anymore and the Department of Education is going to go away. And no, American hate has always been here. We are at war. We've always been at war. It's not over until the fat lady sings. And I don't know who the fat lady is just yet because they tried to tell us it was Gabby Sidibe and it's not her. They tried to tell us it was Lizzo and it's not her. So I don't know. It's just not over yet though. And since it's not over, why would you do things to make yourself obsolete? CNN did a fact check on if Trump was correct or not about the new jobs going to illegal aliens. And they're saying that the number of US-born workers increased about 3.5% between May 2021 and last month, though it did decline 0.2% over the past year. And that's a bunch of nothing, right? What about this part? It's true that the number of foreign-born workers has increased at a much faster rate, 20%, than the rate for native-born workers during Biden's presidency. So actually, those two sentences, when you put them together, kind of sounded like Trump was right, because it looks like US-born workers, the increase was 3.5%, and then it went down. If you're not from here, there was an increase at 20%, and it doesn't say that the number went down. So I just, I wonder why they are so happy and quick to say that these things are false when the numbers are not lying. And if they are lying, they're not lying the way that they need them to lie, right? You get two people trying to lie on each other and they don't get along anymore. What is Black America to do? I say we need to, let them sort it out, back away from the mess. It's not our kitchen, not our mess. Everybody keeps wanting Black America to save America. Maybe America is done. But, oh, right. That means that you niggas would actually have to do something, right? You don't want to be responsible for the failure if you can't feed your family, right? You're a person who's relied on the government so much that even though you get food stamps, Becky and Billy, because it's more of y'all getting food stamps than us, but you didn't even buy plants to make a garden with your food stamps. Try to get self-sustainable. No, you said that you could live on Section 8 forever because they're never going to take it away from y'all. And actually, they're going to give you more benefits. But wait, Kamala and Biden are letting these other people over and they're getting more money than you. I know y'all saw the receipt that was floating around, $13,000 on a food stamp card in New York. Oh, y'all didn't see that? You had to have seen that. That was floating around. And I don't even think that was just the one incident that was floating around. But in real time, they're getting thousands of dollars of help. And they're not supposed to be here. It's got to make white America feel some kind of way, right? Because if the name of the game is I'm going to get it by getting it off of your back, if other people are coming over here and they're documenting the amount of people, how many people, and they're also documenting the fact that they are having a hard time keeping up with the population growth, then it sounds like they're admitting defeat. They just don't want us to say it. It's self-sabotaging what white people will do instead of pay what's owed. I just wonder, white America, is this the dream your forefathers told you about? Or is there something else? Because I promise you, things are a lot easier dealing with us than it is with them. We can kind of come to an agreement, right? Isn't this? Nope, wrong one. This is y'all coming to an agreement of sorts with us. In real time, they took a picture of it, for goodness sakes. They said, look, niggas, look, this president, he's signing the Civil Rights Act in 1964 saying it's illegal. You cannot discriminate on the basis of race, but also color and religion, because sometimes people wear small hats, or sex, or national. Actually, it starts to get very inclusive, and I find that our elder Dr. Anderson's work is just getting shitted on in real time. People don't even know that affirmative action was written specifically for us to address these harms in a political, economic, on paper way. It's these, y'all say that you want legislation specific for Blacks, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. That was that until you don't have any friends in high places. And they tell you, well, Kamala is Black. That's your friend in a high place. And then she says, I'm not going to do anything specifically for you. No. And then she doubles down on it, saying she's going to be unburdened by the burdens. That sounds like Kamala's going to try to ship the niggas off somewhere and then open the borders even more for some more H-1B visas from India. No, it's too much. I think that think Kamala has shown us who she is. And when she spoke at the DNC and her father was but a footnote, because you have to mention him. If he's not just a sperm donor, it would have been kind of strange for her not to mention him. But when she identified herself, all this Kamala is black because she's Jamaican, that shit didn't happen, did it? She acknowledged her mother's Indian resolve and strength and resilience, right? Kamala's mother, Shamala, would have been somebody to benefit from this Civil Rights Act, because national origin sounds like you don't have to be from here and we're not going to discriminate against you for working. Look, I saw this other article. This was the caption with this picture. Adila Zhang of the Affirmative Action Coalition speaks to a diverse group of fellow students at UNC Chapel Hill. What? And this was, didn't the Asians say that DEI was not fair, and then they were the first people on the chopping blocks? It's hilarious. And I really mean like laugh out loud funny, but people keep saying I'm mean when I laugh at these other people's self-inflicted wounds. No. They can easily not be here. Look, just like this chick. Her name is Shirin Tajani. And there's a whole article about her being a Gen Xer. There's a whole article written by MSN about her being a Gen Xer with this 6-figure salary and 6-figure debt. She can't afford a home. This country has failed us. So she comes over when she's a child, and her parents, they say, yep, America's where you're going to go to get a better education. She does that. She gets the job to be able to make the money. And then, well, they start letting everybody and their mama in for free and giving them extra. So it's like even the immigrants are like, what the hell is going on? Then you've got some confused people across all areas of this conversation. And I just wonder if there's something in the water. Really, like you can't have a conscious black, a conscious white, a racist white, a self-serving immigrant. All of these people can't all think that they're doing the right thing. So then I say, well, what are the numbers? What are the facts? What are things that we don't need to dispute? The American dream is only possible because there was niggas over here that were forced to work for free. Now, you pay the debt that's owed, and a lot of people think that the country would be destabilized. We can't afford it. Well, it sounds like a self-inflicted wound. It sounds like you would need to do some math to figure out how you can get started. But that's kind of where we are. HR 40 is them saying we kind of need to do some studying because we don't really know how to make it work. And y'all niggas said, yeah, you're right. And every year you're paying taxes, and your taxes are going to bullshit like fucking up other people's countries or trying to help countries that we've allowed to get fucked up under our protection because we're like the gangster of the world offering protections and not protection. I don't know. White America in control of things is very strange. They should have just stuck to what they knew, which was, I don't know what they know. Seems like most of the stuff is stolen. Like this picture. Everybody who was asleep bought into this brown man as a Black American because he could talk the talk, he could walk the walk, His hairline is attacked. Yeah, that's why you can't really use the hairline, but really, don't he kind of look like a stand nigga to you? Kind of look like a stand nigga. And his name is Obama. Barack Obama. It just is not given Black American Negro. That's why you got to stop listening to white people say that all of us got funny names, or, Shaniqua and Mfufu is the same type of funny name. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the inclusion forced on us by everybody for me, because y'all just aren't saying enough about keeping it whole. White America's been way better at this aspect, and then they take the racism on the chin, right? Because they say, well, I'm not violent, I don't burn crosses, I'm not stringing niggas up in a tree or anything like that. But they are in classrooms or in the ER, OR, at the courthouse, or delivering your mail, or preparing your food. I mean, shit is crazy. It's insane how much we will accept by people that we're used to, and then we'll accept more from people that we don't know, just on the chance that they might be different than these other people who've been abusing us. If this brown man on your screen wasn't enough for you to hear the war cries of the ancestors, then I guess you don't care about your debt that you're owed. And then I guess you should stop talking about reparations. Because, you got a couple different types of people. People who know that we're owed but don't think that we're going to get it. People who know that we were owed and that we are going to get it. And just because you know we're owed and that we are going to get it doesn't mean that you like it. You could be absolutely against it. Tia, our land and resources have been stolen. But when you look at your family tree, most people have not gone further than like 50 to 100 miles away from where they started for hundreds of years. And then you look at, libraries burning down and hospitals burning down and certain paperwork going missing because the institution is not there anymore. It hasn't quite been digitized, and if it has, it's got a smudge on the paper, or you can't quite read it out. That's the whitewashing of it all, because then they could take your last name and then say that they're the Johnsons, or they're the Smiths, they're the Shorts, right? Tonight I wanted to ask the question if DEI is racist against white America, and I think it is, because while Black Americans can't be racist against anybody, we don't control any of these systems. They do. And if they choose to throw themselves under the bus, it sounds like they understand that there's going to be a stronger person and a weaker person. And at the time, you harm the people you're around, right? There's white on white crime, just like there's black on black crime. So, white America is being racist to white America. Absolutely. Because they don't look the part. Some of them have been fucking each other in the mountains for a couple of generations, and they just grunt and stuff. So it's not quite the picture you want to give of America, right? You kind of want to give the back in the day Jessica Simpson, blonde hair, blue eye thing. But then that's few and far between now, right? Because the ones that you have, they're doing this, right? They're at these types of rallies saying diversity. So they're not even on their side anymore. They want to be the cool white girl. Still very racist, but they'll hold a sign. I think that the fact that Obama and Clinton and Biden were all honoring Robert Byrd, who they were calling the America's longest serving senator at his death when he died like 14 years ago. All three of those men were there. And it wasn't to be like, this was a bad guy and it's good that he's not here anymore. No, they were saying, yeah, he was involved in politics for the longest amount of time. That's one of those reasons why there should probably be limits on some of these terms and positions. And people should absolutely be running against these people, especially if they have a dated way of thinking or trying to keep us under the spell of inclusion. You include everybody on purpose, then you will share the resources because you did it. That's why there wasn't a lot of Black America who was vocal about 3 strikes as much as a lot of Black people just ate it and said, well, if you don't do the time, you won't do the crime. What about the fact that the crimes are not being punished equally? So while you should get punished for crimes, if we are being targeted by them for these crimes, I don't know if I like that rule. Y'all know in Florida, they're talking about castrating and killing people who harm children, right? And you know that I think that that's absolutely a consequence for harming children. But in the same breath, niggas are disproportionately targeted by people and they're innocent. How many brothers in Florida are about to be eugenics? Is that the word? They're about to be eunuchs or die because of some To Kill a Mockingbird type of, he did something to me and at the end of the day, she forced herself on him and he was saying no. Y'all remember To Kill a Mockingbird, right? Not only did the nigga not do it, but she forced herself on him. He was trying to get away like, Miss Molly, no, Miss Molly, no, I don't want, no, Miss Molly, I'm married, no. And then she got caught. That shit is crazy. Yeah, all the way free. I wonder if they think that too. Because, we listen to Dr. Winters and he says that there's more than 3 rebellions that happened, right? But they only like to talk about the 3. Or I'm sorry, they like to talk about 1 because they get to call him the bad guy. And then they talk about the other 2 because they never actually happened. But Dr. Winters gave us an additional thought. All of the plantations that went away because the people there stood up for themselves and didn't make noise about it. I think if y'all were to really take a look at history, who wrote down whatever it is that you're reading and why there might be a slant on it, you might come to some different understandings. Because when I hear people like Ann Coulter say that DEI is racist, it's reverse racism, it's discrimination against white people, it is. It's saying that they would rather deal with people who are not from here than deal with the people that are from here. I mean, that's gotta hurt in some form or fashion because they've never had the nigga treatment before. Just like at the beginning of the experiment of 2020, people who have always been on the up got to live their lives a little bit differently. Money was tight. It was not coming in the way it used to. And then the resourceful people got very clever and started getting loans and doing business. All the niggas who got PPP loans did not go to jail for fraud. Don't buy into them titles. It's to make you hate yourself for real, for real. Every time you see a black on black shit, it is to make you not like you. So that when they say, here's what we're gonna do to you, you just accept it. See, that's a good point. You should probably start with your ancestors for sure. And their stories, that's exactly what they are. They're stories. You can go to Plebiscite Island. It's his story, right? But no, I mean, really, if you just look up facts, and right now AI seems to be unbiased. Like your AI, whichever device you have, whichever operating system you have, if you've already started using it, it's already biased to you and how you think about things. So you could ask it questions about things. And while it's not going to tell you that you're owed reparations as much as it's going to tell you that it is a controversial topic, it's a robot or a machine and it can't do that type of thinking. It will give you facts and figures. So just make sure you're asking specific questions. And if you can ask your robot the specific questions, then ask the people who want you to utilize a damn robot and not your family, because a lot of y'all's elders that you respect and love dearly got experimented on. And some of them aren't here today to tell you your story. And that's not fair, but it is life. So, use their sacrifice to your gain, like benefit off of it. Don't let it be in vain. That's like the people who say that their ancestors died for the right to vote, but then will shit on a person saying, I don't want to vote for either of these people, so I'm going to abstain. Well, fuck you, fuck your kids, fuck your mom, and hope you die. What? If they died for the right to, that means that I don't have to. That means you can't make me. And if the American dream was built off of the ancestors who worked for free, then how dare I even part my lips to say that I would do anything for free? Unless I wanted to. But now we're back into the feelings. Because why would you want to do something for free? Oh, because you like them. Because they like you. You want to make them feel good. It's not always about money, Eve. Well, that's why y'all niggas is broke. No, I'm just kidding. No, if it ain't about the money, I don't know what we're talking about, because the American dream was all about the money. Absolutely all about the money. The fact that they had all of this money, they could do what they wanted, and hopefully they could spend it all before the niggas woke up and said, oh shit, let me see about my shit. And just like Optimus Prime shot back home after he woke up from his coma, you had to go home first, right? But I guess that's the nigga nerd in me coming out a little bit. Shout out to my man, because I think that he put that shit in my head right now to tell y'all. One more thing I wanted to talk about before I leave you this evening. It is this. Oh, hold up. Nope. Oh, here it is. Not one fish, two fish. Red fish, blue fish. Knick knack, paddywhack. Give the dog a bone.
These FBA people. They've been on social media the last 7 years doing the exact same thing. And frankly, let's be real clear. Many of them are standing with Donald Trump. They are ops.
Landlord, they could be as
These FBA people. They've been on social media the last several years doing the exact same thing. And frankly, let's be real clear. Many of them are standing with Donald Trump. They are ops. They're there to be disruptive. And what's also ridiculous is that when these fools start talking, Renita, you're complaining about where the boat drop people are. This notion that Haitians, Jamaicans, and others were not affected by slavery is pretty stupid.
And I have to, basically bring it all back to Roland, because he is y'all's aunties and uncles and mama and them's favorite nigga on the TV internet waves right now. He's not really given the credit that he should get. I mean, he's really kind of been doing it for a long time, and he hasn't been knocked off of his square per se. But when people like Ann Coulter are using terms that the boogeyman has given to the world, right? Because remember, y'all are some Tariq haters out there. You can't stand behind the power of doing something in unison. One band, one sound. No, y'all gotta be solo artists out here, right? And that's cool. But if you ain't never played the flute before, I know that you're not gonna be able to play the piccolo. You don't even know how to read music, but you want to be a solo artist. Okay. All right. But you're tone deaf and you can't sing. You can't play, but you want to be a soloist. I get it. It's attention. The internet is a dangerous place because the attention, yeah, you can get the attention. And Roland gets a lot of attention. You know, people in media that you might listen to say that he doesn't have an audience. No, he's got a couple hundred people with a couple thousand phones attached to some walls, maybe doing the farming. No, I'm just kidding. There's no evidence of that. But Roland, I do think it's disingenuous to post the same video 7, 8, 9 different times with different titles, and it's the same video. Like that's kind of crazy. I mean, you're getting clicks because people are clicking on it thinking it's new content, and it's not. It's the same shit. But okay, I mean, if that's how you do it, if that's how you do the internet thing on YouTube, you got like 1 million subs. I don't know how much you're making off of YouTube, but you know, you say that you're the business owner, operator, and that's how you do your thing. So shout out to Roland. But in the same breath, Roland, you're telling Black America that it's our Black job to vote for a person who you want us to accept as Black. But you only want us to accept her as Black because you want us to accept you as Black. And that's why we can't do the racial identification anymore. Because all Black ain't equal. You got faded Black, you got jet Black, you got, actually, I don't know all the different subsets of Black, but there really are. You should look it up one day. There's like 50 different Blacks. And I'm just talking about the damn color wheel. In the world, you got one Black. That's the American. Everybody else has accepted their colonized country. And since when you come over here, you get to call yourself American, y'all don't get to be the same thing as us. It's impossible. So while things are only a little bit muddy, it is more than important for us to stand on this one thing. It's not about were you affected by slavery, should you get reparations, Roland. It's about who owes you the reparations. And then if you really believe that, then say it with your chest. Take your monkey ass back over to wherever the fuck your parents fled from and tell them to pay you. But you won't, because the American dream is that you get to get it off of our backs. But what happens when we say that you can't do that anymore? Are you gonna force us? Is that why the Democrats are pushing all of these policies to force us into submission on these practices that are I don't even know what the word is, but it's bad. It's bad shit, you guys. Letting children identify as whatever they want, but you won't let them smoke cigarettes, buy alcohol, buy a gun, drive a car, or vote. But you will let them degender themselves? That's strange. And strange in a, why haven't we done something about this yet way? But wait, You got Florida. Florida said, we are going to handle the problem. Child predators are not going to be safe here. It's trying to figure out what the name of the law is called in Florida. It's called the bill. I know it's a bill. Well, it says it passed with a 34-5 vote. I mean, that's promising, right? And then it passed in the House of Rep with a 95-14 vote. So those convicted of abusing a child under the age of 12 means that you will get the death penalty. Co-sponsors argued that those who sexually harm kids are likely to repeat their crime and deserve the ultimate penalty. And they're not wrong. But who's going to get the consequences of this law? And if y'all think that it's going to be these Billy Bob daughter fuckers, wake up. The American dream is some shit, because I feel like Dr. King said he had a dream, and then even he was like, wait a minute, that wasn't quite where we need to be. Maybe that's where we can go in the future. But for now, we might need to focus on the things that affect us specifically. And I think this law, you got to be careful what you wish for, people. We said cut the check, and they fucking cut the check, all right. They literally cut a stimulus check for everybody in America making under a certain amount of money, while we were saying cut the check. If y'all niggas have not learned from the Disney movies that you grew up on, or the bullshit that they will tell you about the genie and the lamp and the 3 wishes, come on, people. Y'all have to stop being entertained by things and actually use these things. Or else you're like a waste of everything. Really, you could just get out the way, and all the people who want it would probably have a better time of getting it, because people who don't want it are getting it. Right? Like the children of parents who are not from here, that are born here, that would have loved to stay in their beautiful island country where mangoes are growing on trees and they don't have to worry about police harming them the way that they see on the TV sometimes in America. No, they got other problems, right? But at least it's not a lot of white people over there. And again, they got mangoes growing on trees. It sounds like a nice environment. We have snow over here sometimes, depending on where you are. So I get it. If your parents fled a paradise, you might be a little angry, and you might be a person who would want to flee as well. I know I said I was about to end it, but actually, one more thing. Y'all just made me think about something. There was this man, and he was murdered in Colombia. And it seems like it seems like he might have been a person who might not have been from here, but maybe he was born here and his people are not from here. But let me just share this article with you real quick. A New York man died on a trip to Colombia. It took his grieving mom months to learn what happened. Written by Faith Karimi, CNN, from earlier today. Now, New York, you're always hearing about Black people saying that New York is a place where who knows your origins, because that was one of the first infiltration places, right? But in the story, in this article, you find out that the man, this man right here, his mom is Jamaican. So it's unknown if he was born in Jamaica or not, but his mom was identified as Jamaican, and they joked about it. Now, here's what happened. This guy travels the world and goes places like Japan, Brazil, Mexico, France, and he was in Colombia. He was about to go to Portugal. And I find that there's been a group of people on the internet that have melanin that say American women are not what you want. You need to go somewhere else. And then they go to one of those places listed, or a even more in poverty, a more poor place, a more of a shithole place with very nice beaches. They just watch out for the mounds, right? If you don't watch out for the mounds, then you're going to probably have something that looks like this. You might step in it.
This was a disgrace.
So beautiful beaches in these places, though. And when you go to these places and the women are very agreeable and you're like, I fucking win. And then you get something that causes you to burn, or you don't get to come back home from your trip. I just wonder, was it worth it? But like I said, his mom is Jamaican, and maybe he thought that he could find love somewhere else. He didn't feel at home here. He needed to go somewhere else and do the things. Or maybe he wasn't even a passport bro. Maybe he just wanted to see the world. Whatever it was, I don't know that Black America is making travel moves as a whole like that. I know that there are people who are traveling, but I think the majority of Black America is working class and might take a trip once every blue moon. But the only reason that y'all have been able to survive under these extreme conditions is because you're in survival mode, not play time. Yeah, sometimes people, they moving on up and they start to do the things that people say that you're supposed to do. And then you travel the world because you've got the resources and end up dead in Colombia because you needed to see the places. You need to see the things. That's cool. But I want to say that there's been news from international outlets saying that you got to be careful as an American when you're traveling to these places. And if you just think about the fact that these people are fleeing these places, like, come on, what do you think they're fleeing from? The shit on the beaches? No, I think some pooper scoopers and some of their prison class probably could take care of that, right? That's what they use our prison class for, is to do the things that nobody wants to do, put out wildfires, even though your time in prison is over. But if Kamala's in charge of letting you out, then gonna have to keep putting out these fires, because I'm not going to pay Black America to do it. I'm actually not going to pay anybody to do it, because we've got you niggas working for free. Yeah, I feel you, right? Like, we should be able to travel without getting victimized all the way free. But here's my thing. People are fleeing to come here. They're showing their disdain by coming here illegally. So to think that we're not going to be targeted or victimized whenever we travel somewhere, the fact that we've got the money to do that, the ones of us who have the money to do that, it's just got to look like we're shitting on them in real time. Some of them have the biggest disgust for America, and they lump us in with it. They want to be Black American because it's cool. You get to wear braids and do your nails real long and colorful and talk back, right? That's the stereotype of the Black American woman, right? Because these passport bros, they end up getting with Ling Ling, who looks like a Black American with no melanin. Shit is weird. But I'm sorry. It's a segue. I don't want to do that. If you're saying that's the 40th story you saw, then I think that people are not talking about these things. You know, people should be having more conversations about the dangers of outside. Because I know, y'all niggas want to pop out and show niggas, but maybe that's how you get got, right? When everybody knows that you got $1 million walking around in your pocket, everybody's not going to steal it from you, but somebody's going to want it. And the fact that you told everybody that that's where you have it and it's just here in my pocket, I walk around with it. Some of y'all have been robbed for shit like that. You posted on Facebook that you were going out of town on your trip and came home to an empty house because they took all your shit. And yeah, it was somebody that you know, because obviously you don't have a public profile. No, it was one of your Facebook friends fucking robbed you blind because you needed to pop out and show niggas, right? No, I think if more people realize the the severity, the gravity, that's the word I'm looking for. If people understood how serious it was, the war that we're in, then maybe they wouldn't do certain shit. If white people can write manifestos and go shoot up a church, a grocery store, a school, because they're at war, y'all think they're at war, it's an imaginary war? Because if it was imaginary, why are people dying? Why are little kids and old people getting shot if it's an imaginary war? Do y'all have any answers for these questions? Because the American dream seems like a nightmare, for real. Because the people who are not supposed to be here, they're feeling it. The people who are supposed to be here, they're feeling it. Everybody's feeling it and looking both ways. What are the niggas gonna do? That's what they want to know. And I say it'd be real easy to just be like, let them have the election, right? That's what the niggas is gonna do. Let them have it. Why do you want it? You're not getting anything for it. If you wanted to argue that Kamala cared about Black America, then make her apologize for telling everybody that niggas wash their greens in the bathtub. And then she can't laugh about it. And then, oh yeah, she also has to, on paper, put down all of the things that she's done to keep Black America down. Oh, for example, the people that she kept in jail, she'd have to apologize and offer restitution out of her own pocket. Her and Doug can afford some reparative justice for some of the people she directly harmed. Then I might take her seriously as a person who's of the people, for the people. Until then, I know she's never going to have a policy that makes sense for Black America, so it seems very simple. Vote for me. No, don't vote for Eve. I mean, vote for yourself by not wasting the gas. Couch 2024. Or look for someone else that might speak to your fancy, but please don't out your mouth say that Kamala is Black or that she's for Black America or anything that I've said that she's not, and then say that you're going to go vote for her, or that you understand that immigration is a problem, but you're going to go vote for her, or that anything made sense tonight, but you're still going to go vote for her because Trump is a big bad meanie. I don't think I'm allowed to tell people to go play in traffic. But if you think about it, playing in traffic, that's when the interstate's like real heavy, right? You probably could like walk through it because the cars are stacked, right? I don't know why that's a bad thing to say to people. You know, telling someone to go play on the interstate at 2:00 in the morning. That might not be a good place to be because that's when people are probably speeding to their destination. They don't want to be out at 2. and they might hit your ass going as fast as they're going at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, playing traffic, I don't know how that's so bad, but maybe just stay home if you can't answer questions about what tangibles you're getting, because telling me to work for free, telling my children that you're going to go work for free, I'm going to tell them that you're a coward and you're going to eat it, because that's what cowards do. They eat shit. And since you like to eat shit, here's some shit for you. Here it is. Actually, I'm sorry. Did y'all know some of these people come from countries where they're actually eating doo-doo pies? And I'm not going to show that to you because it made me absolutely the last time I saw some shit. Please stop sharing it on my timeline on Twitter, please. But also share it because people need to see it. They're trying to act like they don't come from shitholes. If you eat doo-doo pies, you come from a shithole. If you shitting on beaches, you come from a shithole. That little nigga didn't even wipe his butt. He didn't go towards the water. He went away from the shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I know. A lot of poop tonight, and I don't even like to talk about potty talk outside of the bathroom, but the American dream seems to be some shit if we can't be included in it. And since we're not included in it, we're gonna have to wake these people up to reality. And reality is that you're gonna pay us what you owe, or, well, you can see what it's like when, we're not your scapegoat for these problems anymore. If you liked what I had to say, that's cool. You can hit the likes. Maybe share the conversation and actually just share the talking points of the conversation, because I find that uncomfortable conversation to move people. And y'all have family that is married into these cultures because of how loving we are. And also because y'all thought that your mama and them was too combative, argumentative, loud, or whatever. So you went and thought Maria was going to be better, but she hits you, like actually hits you. And, but you say she's spicy, No, I think Black America could do better, but I think that it's only going to happen when we make people who shouldn't be in places move. And they can do it the easy way or the easier way. I think I'm probably going to be live again on Wednesday with Dr. Winters talking about fake it till you make it. Because, well, some people out here are fake. And you can look at their bank account and be like, well, they got the bag though, right? In a couple months, they about to say that about Kamala. Yeah, she faked it, but she the president though. My girl, Kamala. Just kidding. She's not my girl. She's an old lady, and she's not mine. She's y'all's hot sauce. She likes it. Y'all have a good night.